As my audience grows larger, I begin to realize what I want to represent to the tribe and what I want to represent to any future tribe member. You'll see where I'm going with this.
I like learning, not like school learning. I actually think school's low-key a scam. Sorry, that's the irrational part of me speaking. You should go to school. I like learning about philosophy, the history of mankind, why we kill each other, when did what color you are become so important, why do we care so much about religion? These are all questions I find to be fascinating. But before I continue, I must apologize because none of that tells you why you're here. I'm gonna tell you why, but I need to stand up. My ankles are wedged between my butt crack. I need a water. I'm thirsty as hell, cup. I consider cultures to be in my top 5 fascinations. I don't know if y'all know, but I am 100% Haitian. I don't know if that's actually true, but 100% just sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I'm 100% Haitian. Now, I bring up the fact that I'm Haitian because when I was younger, I was fully entrenched in the Haitian community. Haitian friends, Haitian church, Haitian tutoring. My point is, I was deep in, fully immersed in what it meant to be a Haitian. Stay with me here, because I do have a point. I do. Trust me. Just trust me. What? Why? How am I supposed to bike off the roof? Like a magic? See, when I turned 17, I left Miami, essentially leaving the Haitian community behind. Imagine how surprised I was to learn that my way of living was different than everybody else's. For example, Haitian churches, you gotta pull up looking all spiffy, and even then you might get the side eye. American churches, you're doing great if you just pull up, clothed or not. Oh my God, I play. You see what I'm saying? Difference. All right, let's go. I view cultures as different perspectives, an alternate way of thinking. I believe being cultural adds layers to your character that not only makes you interesting, but also helps you understand people more. And so here we are in classic content creator fashion. I've decided to turn what I'm doing into content. I'm tired. I walked up to the birds, right? And them niggas talking about something. I never heard a bird do that before. What are those, chickens? I just seen them chickens fly. They can do that. trying to understand how to be a better man. Blood money touching way too many hands. Asking God if my pain was part of the plan. I got tribe members, niggas is bigger than having fans. Quick little lesson, if you see any tenants sedans creeping slow, then you better go. Know them niggas tag toe. See Mateo down the road, really wasn't scared to shoot. Older brother was a G, so he'd follow suit, Now he's a new recruit of a group. Mama out the loop, she don't even know what her son is up to. See, I've come to a sort of realization. I don't know. You good, bro? If you trying to scrap, say that. I ain't gonna lie, they did walk up on me, and I for sure did back up. I was highly scared. I ain't never been in that type of situation before. I got backed down by a bird, bro. These mongooses got me shook. I'm not revolutionary with anything I'm doing, if we're being completely honest here. But I realized that I can do my own thing, and I can do it well. I say that because I think it's time to forge our own lane, tribe. I mean, we're already doing that with our reactions, you know what I'm saying? Our reactions are top tier, if I do say so myself. According to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I ain't just saying that. I believe it's time to forge our own lane in everything we do. When it makes sense, of course. Why reinvent the wheel when the wheel works? But we don't gotta use the same tires as everybody else. That could be a bar, or I could just be spitting nonsense. Stay with me here, because I do have a point. Surprise teleportation. Hello? Did it not work? Why didn't it work? You're still here. Oh, I know what I gotta do. It actually worked. That's crazy. I don't anticipate making much money off of these videos because I'm gonna be watching other people's content. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, tribe. I would do all this for free. But in my pursuit to continue being real with the tribe, I do make money off my videos. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. When I get big enough and when I do make enough money, we're gonna go to these places and we're gonna see if I can use the knowledge I have learned here to blend in there. You know what I'm saying? I actually low-key want to take some tribe members with me. Wait. That could be a vibe, or it could be bad. What if y'all are like murderers in real life, bro? What? That would suck. Do I got any stabby folks in the tribe? It's okay, you know. Sometimes you slip, and next thing you know, Jimmy was found with 18 stab wounds, and you're the prime suspect. This has quickly descended into madness, and for that, I must not apologize. In today's video, I will be the clone that pushes the pace of this piece of Tribe Loui content along. Today we are learning about Germany. The only thing Tribe Loui knows about Germany is what Adolf and his mustache was up to back in 1993. 33. Not good things, obviously, but of course he understands that one man cannot represent an entire nation. I'm also a transition.
Lederhosen, Schnitzel, beer, bratwurst, order, bread and beer, complicated history,
slow
beer,
down,
no
nigga.
humor, EDM, and gummy bears that will kind of like give you diarrhea, but it's like worth it.
They made
These are
horrible?
such horrible stereotypes that every
Yo, I
German
love
is so sick and tired of hearing.
Captions?
Gummy bear?
I love horrible.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Hey everyone, I'm your host Barbie. So we've conquered Belgium's castle, jumped through Denmark's lagoon, danced through France's forest, and now we've made it to the final boss of the EU, Kingpin Germany. Level 1. Begin.
Okay. Hey, I'm liking it so
you
far.
know why I'm smiling.
Well,
Yep,
I
Germany
don't,
has a
actually.
lot of territorial anomalies. We'll get into that in a little bit, but first, Germany is located in central Western Europe, bordered by 9 other countries. Don't forget little Luxembourg, with small coasts on the North and Baltic Seas, which they own about 50 small islands. Now, Germany, like the US, is a federal republic which has 16 smaller states, or Bundesländer, each with its own constitution.
Bundesländer. Sorry, I just want.
Federal Republic, which has 16 smaller states, or Bundesländer, each with its own constitution, 3 of which are cities, the capital Berlin, Hamburg, and Bremen, which is actually kind of like 2 cities, including Bremerhaven on the coast, but they kinda act
Bremerhaven.
like one entity. Fun side note, Lower Saxony is actually geographically situated further north than regular Saxony. Now let's jump into the fun stuff. Now we already
Wait. So the Lower Saxony isn't actually Lower Saxony? Is that what he's trying to say?
the capital Berlin, Hamburg, and Bremen, which is actually kind of like 2 cities, including Bremerhaven on the coast, but they kind of act like one entity. Fun side note, Lower Saxony is actually geographically situated further north than regular Saxony. Now let's jump into the fun
that's
stuff.
funny.
Now we already discussed the Jungholz Quadripoint and the Vennbahn railway enclaves with Belgium and Austria. However, there's a few more. The entire town of Bussingen am Hochrhein is surrounded by Switzerland.
Bussingen
Belgium, and Austria. However, there's a few more. The entire town of Bussingen am Hochrhein is surrounded by Switzerland, whereas part of the Konstanz is cut off by the Rhine River and surrounded by Switzerland. However, immediately across the river, a small patch of empty land on the German side actually belongs to Switzerland. Finally, they split the island of Usedom with Poland in the north. Germany is interesting because every state in the country has its own distinct culture, dialect, history, food, traditions. I mean, Bavarians will be quite drastically different from Schleswig-Holsteiners. Mecklenburg-Vorpommern will be different from Saarland.
My brain was just like, just please stop, bro. You're offending somebody. I'm sorry. Look, I want to learn these.
Different from Schleswig-Holsteiners. Mecklenburg-Vorpommern will be different from Saarland. This all has to do with ancient and recent history. Basically, in the quickest way I can summarize this: Germanic tribes, Roman wars, Charlemagne, 3 kingdoms. This guy marries an Italian, creating a whole new mess called the Holy Roman Empire, made up of 300 smaller separate kingdoms, states, and dukedoms, which had nothing to do with Romans. Teutonic Knights, Brandenburgs became Prussia, Habsburgs became.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Basically, in the quickest way I can summarize this: Germanic tribes, Roman wars, Charlemagne, 3 kingdoms. This guy marries an Italian, creating a whole new mess called the Holy Roman Empire, made up of 300 smaller separate kingdoms,
which had nothing to do with
Romans. Teutonic Knights, Brandenburgs became Prussia, Habsburgs became Austrians, Lithuanians and Poles made their own thing, whereas the Hungarians joined the Austrians. Wars, battles. Napoleon comes over and messes everything up, and finally, German nationalism surges, and in 1871, Otto von Bismarck creates the first proto-German unified state. And then they're all like, oh dang, we came late to this game. We gotta scramble for some colonies. And that's how all of these countries at one point spoke German. Oh, and also keep in mind, like 300 years before this, a German banking company obtained colonial rights to Venezuela for like 20 years. They were looking for the lost city of El Dorado. So technically, you can kind of say Germans colonized the Americas, but it wasn't like a nationalized conquest thing. Fast forward even more, and then you get World War I, the monarchy ends, Treaty of Versailles, they lose land, Nazis come in, World War II, Germany splits in two for about 40 years, and then finally, we get the Germany we have today. East Germany, consisting of these states, is today still quite different from the rest of Germany, as it was first occupied and influenced by the Soviet Union. They are generally not as well off economically as the rest of the country, as you can still see the blocky Soviet-style buildings sprawled throughout the regions. In fact, the city of Berlin was split in half, and the west side was actually an enclave of West Germany, only accessible by train and highway. You can even see from a satellite image the divide. East Berlin still uses the yellowish tinted sulfur vapor light bulbs, whereas the west still uses fluorescent and mercury arc white tinted light bulbs. Now the funny thing is, although Berlin is the largest city in Germany, the busiest airports are actually Frankfurt, Munich, Dusseldorf, with Berlin, Tegel, ranking at number 4. Otherwise, some top notable landmarks and spots would be the Brandenburg Gate, the Valhalla, the Cologne Cathedral, the Ulminster Church, the tallest in the world.
Oh my gosh, those were all very beautiful structures, bro. What the hell? Yo, you can gauge like the time periods certain parts of the cities lived in based off of the light bulbs from a satellite view? Huh? Tribe. Can we stop going trending on Twitter, please? Like, it's just a bunch of new folks following me, bro. And I'm like, hi, I'm Tribe, Loui.
Vapor light bulbs, whereas the west still uses fluorescent and mercury arc white tinted light bulbs. Now the funny thing is, although Berlin is the largest city in Germany, the busiest airports are actually Frankfurt, Munich, Dusseldorf, with Berlin, Tegel ranking at number 4. Otherwise, some top notable landmarks and spots would be the Brandenburg Gate, the Valhalla, Cologne Cathedral, the Ulminster Church, the tallest in the world, the Berlin Victory Column, and hundreds of castles all over. The most notable one probably being Neuschwanstein, the concept behind Disney's Cinderella Castle. Germany also has over 400 zoos, more than any other country in the world. And of course, everybody knows about the Autobahn, the highway system in which if you see this sign, it means there's no speed limit. And it's like that for a huge portion of the roadway. And no wonder, considering how vast and wide those cultivated countrysides can get.
There are no speed limits in Germany? There are no speed limits in Germany? Is that... I'm very close to you. I know. I'm sorry. Just, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. I'm just looking up how much tickets are to Germany. It's literally fine. $73? Why they say $73 and you click on it and now it's $6.90? What the hell? 2 bands? Oh my. What if I just strap myself to the outside of the plane? I should be able to go for free, right? Like... Oh, I'm so close.
Time for level 2.
Level 2.
Okay, think of it this way. In Germany, the more down you go, the more up you move. Basically, Germany lies on the Atlantic shelf in the north that starts with the mudflats in the North Sea. Seriously, this island right here is accessible only for a few hours by foot until the tide comes and floods everything. Then everything just kind of creeps up into the Alps in the south by Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, with the highest mountain, Zugspitze, located right along the border with Austria. Kind of like France, Germany is filled with a vast irrigating network of rivers like the Spree, Elbe, Weser, Rhine, and of course, the mighty Danube that starts here. About a third of the land is arable and another third is woodland, and after a millennia of civilization, Germans have cultivated the crap out of their country. Most agriculture, of course, happens in the North Flat Plains and the central regions of the country, which is, by the way,
I'm fascinated,
like
bro.
Tornado Alley. Due to its position sandwiched between the Arctic blasts of Scandinavia and the moist, warm jet streams of the Mediterranean below, Germany can be an atmospheric war zone in the summer. There are more tornadoes on average in Germany than any other country in Europe. Speaking of flat farmland, Germany is the world's largest rye and hop producer. Germans abso-freaking-lutely love their bread. There are over 300 different kinds of bread in the country,
baguettes?
more types than any other country in the world, and almost every meal incorporates some kind of slice or small bun or Brötchen of bread. Hast du gluten-free? Nein! Germans are heavy meat eaters.
Wait, how do they say bread? He just smacked the shit.
Brötchen of bread.
Brötchen? Am I doing good?
Every meal incorporates some kind of slice or small bun or Brötchen of bread.
Brötchen.
Hast du gluten-free? Nein!
Nein!
Germans are heavy meat eaters, specifically in pork. They basically know every possible way to cook a pig. Over 50 different types of sausage exist alongside schnitzels, rouladen, sauerbraten, Schweinsachse, and at a big party you might find Spanferkel. Beer reigns supreme all over as the third largest consumers of beer after the Czech Republic. Even the president has no problem with public intoxication. And Austria. Germany is world-renowned for their beer, which, by the way, follows...
Was that depressing?
has no problem with public intoxication, and Austria. Germany is world-renowned for their beer, which, by the way, follows the Reinheitsgebot rule in which they are only allowed to use water, hops, malt, and sometimes yeast. Nonetheless, about 1,300 breweries exist, pumping out over 5,000 brands.
Heineken.
Continuously existing
Is Heineken a German beer?
By Benedictine monks in 1040 AD can be found here. Germany takes the environment very seriously and...
Hold on. Let me look it up. Nope, Heineken is a Dutch beer. Like, where is the Dutch? Like the Flying Dutchman?
Benedictine monks in 1040 AD can be found here. Germany takes the environment very seriously and for the past 2 decades has been going on a major green revolution. As of today, they have the largest installed solar power capacity and green infrastructure practices like home installed turbines and solar panels have seen a huge resurgence in the past 10 years. Forests dominate the southern regions where the landscape gets hillier and mountainous, the most famous one being the Black Forest or the Schwarzwald in Baden-Württemberg. Deer, bears, boar, foxes, badgers, and the national animal, the eagle, can be found thriving in these parts. Nonetheless, economically, Germany is known mostly for their exceptional engineering and industry production. Companies we've all heard of like Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Audi, Telecom, Nivea, DHL, Bosch, Adidas, Puma! Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Biscoito Bolacha thing
that
from
other
Brazil.
dude?
Remember? Well, we have mudflats, tornadoes, pork, beer, mountains. All that's missing is people. Level 3.
Okay. What is the demographic
Fun
looking
little side
like?
note, in Germany, this is 3, not this. Now, if the EU was a family... Fun little side note, in Germany, this is 3, not this.
Well, then what does this mean though? And also, am I now part German? I know how to do the 3 just like everybody else in German. So can I be a part of y'all now? I'm not even regular American now. See, 1, 2, 3. They're literally gonna stop me at the border of Germany. Hey, are you Tribe Loui? No, go back.
Adidas! Puma! Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Biscoito Bolacha thing from Brazil. Remember? Well, we have mudflats, tornadoes, pork, beer, mountains. All that's missing is people. Level 3.
Level 3.
Fun little side note, in Germany, this is 3, not this. Now, if the
I
EU
know
was a
because
family,
I'm now
Germany would
part
kind of be like the
German.
dad who got out of rehab, reconciled with his wife, and... Not this. Now, if the EU was a family, Germany would kind of be like the dad who got out of rehab, reconciled with his wife and kids, and is taking his new life very seriously as he is haunted by the demons of his past every day. First of all, the country has about 82 million people and is the most populated in the EU, second most in Europe after Russia, and has the 4th largest nominal GDP in the world. About 80% of the country identifies as ethnically German, 12% other Europeans, mostly Polish, Italian, Dutch, and so on. Turks make up about 3.5%, Asians at 2%, and the rest are made up of other groups like Africans and Americans. Also, they use the euro, They use the C and F type outlets, and they drive on the right side of the road. Germany is without a doubt a global powerhouse. It is the strongest economy in the EU and makes up about 16% of the Union's population. It's the third largest exporter and importer of goods in the world. After the United States, Germany is also the second most popular global migration destination. Germany experiences a high standard of living, tuition-free universities, if you get accepted that is, a mostly government-subsidized universal healthcare system, about a quarter is still privatized, and state pension for retirement at age 65. Now when it comes to language, things get a little tricky. Each state kind of has their own type of German. However, to get by, most Germans learn how to speak Hochdeutsch, or High German, which is the standard dialect. The European Charter, however, protects the minority languages of Frisian, Danish, Romani, Sorbian, which is like a Slavic-based language used along the Czech-Polish border, and Plattdeutsch, or Low German, which has similarities to Dutch and is typically used by
Dutch. The Heineken is made by Dutch. Tuition-free universities, that's incredibly good. I wish America would implement it, and the fact that it sounds like there are actual requirements to get into these tuition-free universities. If you don't get in, what happens though? Like what happens to you? Do they kill you? You're just done. You better get in, or you better get in. Oh my god. I'm sure you gotta what, you get a job or something? I don't know, bro.
Along the Czech-Polish border, and Plattdeutsch, or Low German, which has similarities to Dutch and is typically used by the Amish and Mennonite communities across the world. In terms of regional distinctions, though, Germany is kind of divided into 5 cultural areas: Rhineland, East and Middle Deutschland, Norddeutschland, Baden-Württemberg, and Bavaria. Rhineland is on the west side and has a culture somewhat more influenced by France, more Catholics. Carnival celebrations are huge out here. East and Middle Germany was the part that used to be its own country for 40 years, as it was influenced by the Soviets. Sorbians can also be found here too. Northern Germany has a coastal sea culture that identifies closer with Denmark and the Netherlands. They are also known for being kind of quiet and reserved. Baden-Württemberg has an interesting Swabian culture where they speak a dialect so thick that only about 40% of it is intelligible to other Germans. And then you have Bavaria, which is where the Americanized, perpetuated stereotypes about Germany came from, with Lederhosen, dirndls, half-timber, beer houses, and cuckoo clocks. For the record, Germans are sick of those stereotypes. It's like saying all Americans are cowboys with guns and horses. Speaking of stereotypes, some of the stereotypes...
Okay, so I have to let go of that stereotype, because when I thought of German, those houses, that type of attire, and okay. Okay, my fault.
They speak a dialect so thick that only about 40% of it is intelligible to other Germans. And then you have Bavaria, which is where the Americanized, perpetuated stereotypes about Germany came from, with Lederhosen, dirndls, half-timber, beer houses, and cuckoo clocks. For the record, Germans are sick of those stereotypes. It's like saying all Americans are cowboys with guns and horses.
But the cuckoo clocks come from Germany?
Some of the stereotypes in Germany include things like Saxons being very indecisive, Berliners are always bragging about themselves, Swabians are stingy, Bavarians drank too much, Hessians talk too much, Holsteiners don't talk enough.
I don't know about none of these, I ain't gonna lie.
Words differ from regions too. For example, in High German, you would say Auf Wiedersehen, but in Bavarian, you would say Fiat die Gott. In Kölsch, you would say Tschüss, and in Rhineland, you might say Ajus. And there's so many compound words that get really long and complicated, like Rindfleische Tickettierungsüberwachungsaufgaben Übertragungsgesetz. This is because many words...
What the hell did he just say? I'm gonna repeat that.
You might say Ajus. And there's so many compound words that get really long and complicated, like Rindfleische Tickettierungsüberwachungsaufgaben Übertragungsgesetz.
Okay.
This is because many words are mehrtudig, or ambiguous words that are kind of elongated to give off an extensive meaning. Germans have very vivid imaginations and make up words for everything. Like my favorite word, Backpfeifengesicht. Not this time. By the way, for the record, this letter makes a double S sound. However, spelling reformers have tried to decrease the usage of this letter in recent years, which has led to some protests. Germans also love dubbing everything from foreign media into German. Some like this, some don't, but either way, it's here to stay. About 60% of the country identifies, at least nominally, as Christian, split between Protestants and Catholics. Germany was even the birthplace of the Protestant Reformation, split from the Catholic Church by Martin Luther. Otherwise, the rest are mostly agnostic or irreligious, with a noticeable community of Muslims, mostly from the huge Turkish and Middle Eastern communities, at about 5%, as well as a few Jews, Buddhists, and Hindus rounding up the remainder 1%. To kind of get a feel of what it's like to be German, you kind of have to understand where they've come from. After World War II, they kind of had a lot of work to do. However, it wasn't until the mid-50s and early 60s that the Wirtschaftswunder, or economic wonder, happened, to which almost everybody got to work. Basically, this guy envisioned and implemented a social market economy combined with free market capitalism alongside socialist policies that established fair competition in a welfare state. GDP increased by 80%, investments by 120%, labor forces were utilized to the maximum. Things started to get better. In Germany, all children are corralled into general public schools until age 10, when they are given the option to enroll in 3 different types of middle schools. Gymnasium, geared towards focusing on higher linguistic, mathematic, and science fields for universities. Realschule, a middle ground type of school. And Hauptschule, a school that is geared towards helping kids that seem to show promise in specific vocation or trades. Germany also has the largest music market in the EU.
Hello? Why don't we have that? Is America that lazy that we don't have specialized vocational schools for middle schoolers, bro? What would be the reason that stops us from implementing such a thing? Only thing I can think of is too much money and a lack of care for the kids. What have we changed about schooling, despite the fact that there is clearly something wrong? Not a damn thing from what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Interesting, very interesting.
A middle ground type of school, and Hauptschule, a school that is geared towards helping kids that seem to show promise in specific vocation or trades. Germany also has the largest music market in the EU and the 3rd in the world after the US and Japan. They love preserving their heritage and culture through music and art. In fact, there are around 130 national orchestras, mostly supported by public money, and artists get a 50% reduction in health insurance through a special type of offer in the legal system. One thing that still kind of supposedly maintains itself in Germany is the mindset of Vergangenheitsbewältigung. Totally butchered that, which kind of translates to a lingering sense of guilt from the past. Germans have reportedly some of the lowest levels of national pride, and unless if you're at a soccer game, chances are you will almost never see anyone holding a German flag or waving it in any kind of like patriotic setting. It's weird, but it's kind of how things are.
Monster.
They've made great strides to move on from the past. Nazi flags and Mein Kampf are incredibly illegal items to own in Germany, and they even have a rule.
I say why because America literally like have slaves, and you know we are incredibly prideful of where we come from. I believe Germany should be incredibly like I think Germans should have the right and should be proud of where they come from. It seems like a beautiful place. The fact that there is even any residual guilt at all should show the general character of a German versus Americans. Nigga, we are still racist. Like we still don't give oh my god, bro, that's actually dead funny, bro.
Never see anyone holding a German flag or waving it in any kind of like patriotic setting. It's weird, but it's kind of how things are.
You monster.
They've made great strides to move on from the past. Nazi flags and Mein Kampf are incredibly illegal items to own in Germany, and they even have a rule, the Volksverhetzung, which basically says you cannot talk trash by denying the past atrocities. Some people say this infringes on free speech, others say it's good because it solidifies truth. Otherwise, some notable Germans throughout history include Charlemagne, although he was a Frank, but I guess it kind of counts. Albrecht, Dürer, David Friedrich, Gutenberg, Bach, Beethoven, Karl Benz, Albert Einstein, although Americans would like to claim that he moved to the US and became an American. Johannes Kepler, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Friedrich Schiller, Michael Shoemaker, Alex von Humboldt, and of course Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels co-founded Marxism. But one thing Germans do best would have to be diplomacy.
I've heard of Karl Marx.
The German passport holds the most visa-free nations out of any other country in the world, just beating Sweden. Therefore, you can kind of conclude that Germany kind of knows how to relate to people. Let's find out how in the final round, level 4.
Level 4. I'm loving this so far, bro. This is actually very
Germany knows
cool.
how to make friends. They have over 220 diplomatic missions abroad and over 350 honorary consuls and have an incredibly high position of authority in the EU. Their closest African friend would probably be Namibia. As a former German colony way back in the 19th century, Namibia held on relations, and to this day, German is still a recognized language in Namibia. Germans have been supporting and sharing ties both economically and ideologically for over a century. India and South Korea are really close friends in Asia. India supported both East and West Germany during the Cold War, and after reunification, they were like, woohoo, even better! And Germany is to South Korea what Japan is to France.
South Korea.
They love to piggyback off of each other's ideas and cultures, especially in the automotive industry. Many South Koreans were sent to Germany after the Korean War to work abroad and study, and Germans have been growing in fascination with visiting South Korea. The US is probably the closest ally outside of the EU. About 30% of Americans claim German heritage, and after World War II, the Marshall Plan allowed the US to give post-war aid to Germany, which helped kickstart the economic recovery. Germany was a key figure in the formation of the State of Israel after World War II, which after the Holocaust left an obligation to invest in the building up of a Jewish community. Turkey is probably the closest Middle Eastern ally, as the Turks make up the largest Asian demographic in Germany, although many of them may or may not also identify as Kurds. But since Kurds don't have a state of their own, they usually go onto Turkish passports when immigrating and are documented as such.
That's
Their best
too
friends,
close to
however, would
Turds,
probably
bro.
be
They gotta change
literally
that.
all their neighbors. The thing is, Germany is kind of like Bosnia and Herzegovina, in which, by default, they kind of get friends based off of the regional alliances. Bavarians get along with Austrians, Baden-Württembergs get along with Switzerland, East Germany has good relations with the Slavic countries, the Rhine states love Belgium, Luxembourg, and France, and the north side loves the Netherlands and Denmark. France, though, is kind of like the trophy wife of Germany, as the two have had an angry start, but then eventually fell in love and worked together beautifully. France is like the beautiful, flashy spokesperson for the EU that stands in the spotlight as Germany stands in the background, managing all the money and logistical work. In conclusion, although Germanic peoples have existed for thousands of years, an actual unified German state didn't appear until kind of recently, and the brief time that they've been around, they've kind of gone through some of the most intense, world-revolutionizing historical events possibly imagined. Yet, they've come out working hard and building their way up to become a world superpower. You gotta give it to them. There's something about the Germans.
Nah,
and with that, final boss level complete. Stay tuned. Another African state Germany has ties to, Ghana, is coming up next.
Oh, snap. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, my opinion of Germany has risen. Like, I didn't have any opinion of Germany, I'm not gonna lie, obviously, except for the Holocaust thing, but I knew that the actions of one man can't define an entire nation. You know what I'm saying? So I was neutral, but it seemed like Germany is a interesting place with varied cultures, varied ideologies, histories, philosophies, and I'm excited to delve deeper into this because this entire video is literally based off of me being fascinated with cultures, and it seems like Germany is like chock full of them. I believe it's Monday, or you might be seeing this on Tuesday. This week, we will be doing a German deep dive. I'm going to be learning a couple of phrases, sentences, maybe words. I'm going to be learning a little bit about, because he mentioned a couple of people's names that I never heard of, like Charlemagne. Apparently, the dude that co-founded Marxism is from Germany, so that's going to be interesting to read about. And a lot, that was very enjoyable. I like this channel. I like this channel a lot, and the guy that was explaining it, very, very good. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. I mean, I don't know if he was saying the German words right. I don't speak German. I'm pretty sure I probably offended some German folks with my attempt to pronounce those German words, but I'm gonna get it right, you know what I'm saying? Next week, I'm gonna put a poll up so that the tribe can choose which culture we will do a deep dive into. I highly doubt folks is gonna watch this, I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's cool though, because these types of videos are for me. Like I said in the beginning of my video, cultures are what fascinate me. So whenever I click back on my channel and I click on this video and I see everything that has gone on, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna enjoy this quite a bit, man. Enough of me. No, seriously, enough of me. It's video boy Tribe Loui. Good day, good afternoon, good night, good evening, good morning, and most importantly, but unfortunately, it's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.